This is the fastest refashion technique and you don't have to have sewing experience to do it. Well, let me show you how. Hello darlings, this is Julie and welcome to my channel where we talk everything sewing. So today I have a super fun, very quick refashion project on how you can add an elastic waist to any garment that you have and go from this look to this look. So this is a dress that I made a year ago and I really like it. It's very beautiful, but I always wear it with the belt to kind of emphasize on my waist. I like it that way. So I figured, hey, why not just simply add an elastic waist and then I will have an option to go with or without the belt. This technique literally takes from 5 to 10 minutes to make and you can add it to any garment that you have that has oversized fit. You basically don't have to have any sewing experience, so even if you're like never touched sewing machine before, that's fine because we'll just make a few simple seams and that's it. No skills required. Let me know in the comments if you like these refashion videos so that I know that I can continue to do them in the future and show you like small things how you can grade or change your clothing. Also, completely unrelated, but I'm today wearing a sweater that I made myself from scraps. I literally had these scraps just laying around and I thought I probably could throw them away, but no, I don't like to throw things away, so I just whipped this little sweater and this looks cute, right? I'm getting like cold shoulder. Okay, so never mind me. Yeah, let's switch to the refashion and let's see how to add the elastic waist to any oversized item that you have. So the first step, we will need to mark our waist for the shirring lines. To do that, I put on my dress and I'm standing still and I grab my waist at the most narrow waistline, which is the waistline. I'm making sure that I'm comfortable and there is not too much and not too little fabric at the top. Once I found the waist, I mark it with a chalk. Here's how the marking looks like. Next, I will measure the shirring waistlines. To do that, I first just sharpen my chalk with a sharpener a few times just so that I can get very accurate shirring lines. I will measure from the highest shoulder point to the waist point. And I'm marking it like this. And I will measure the same distance from another shoulder point. What this step will give us, it will ensure that our shirring lines are straight and equally spaced from the top, so there is no tilting. Now I will connect these lines with a straight line. This will be my first shirring line. How many shirring lines you want to add will be up to you. The more shirring lines you add, the thicker the waistband will be, so keep that in mind. I do recommend adding at least 2 lines because 1 shirring line is a little bit too little for my taste. So I myself will add 3 shirring lines for this dress. All will be a ½ centimeter spaced from the center shirring line, and here you can see me marking those lines and drawing them with a straight line. Once the front is measured, simply fold this dress in half and prolong those shirring lines so that you can have the markings at the back as well. And here's how the shirring lines looked, marked, equally spaced from the top and all straight. Now let's move to the sewing machine and start our shirring. For this technique you will need elastic gum thread which will go to the bobbin. I want you to wind the bobbin by hand just so that you can make sure that the elastic thread is not pre-stretched before sewing. So just gently wind the bobbin until it's full. Do not stretch the thread. The elastic gum thread will go only to the bobbin and the top thread will remain the same. So here you can see that I'm finishing winding the bobbin and I will install it to the machine. The top thread will be the standard sewing thread and you want to match it with your fabric color so it's looking like this. Now I have threaded the machine. Again, the elastic thread goes only to the bobbin and the top is the standard sewing thread. I will set the machine to the longest straight stitch. Now this is very important because the longer the stitch, the more gathers you will get. Now if you would use a very narrow stitch, you would just not get any gathers at all. So now we will start sewing along our shirring lines, and at the beginning I want you to place the sewing machine foot at the first shirring line at the side, and first you want to secure the seam with a few back stitches. Always secure the seam finish and the start, just so that you can prevent the seam from popping. Now just simply start sewing along the first shirring line with a straight stitch, and now you can see that the fabric is already being gathered, which means that the elastic thread is doing its job. Continue to sew all around the waist, that first shirring line. Once you reach the beginning of the first line, I want you to pull the needle down, rotate the fabric, make a few stitches like this, and then rotate the fabric again so that you reach the second shirring line. And continue to sew along the second shirring line. Make sure that you're kind of opening the fabric when you're sewing, so that you're sewing on the very smooth surface. Once you went around the waist with the second shirring line, pull down the needle, rotate it 90 degrees, make a few stitches until you reach the third line, rotate the fabric, and continue to sew your third line. This is how our waist is looking, and it's such a pretty waist, isn't it? It's also very comfortable because the elastic waist will adapt to your measurements no matter how they change throughout the time, whether your measurements shrink or increase or decrease. Now that you finished the third line, secure the seam with a few back stitches and cut the threads. And here is our waist finished. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? It's very fast refashion, but I love it. It's very comfortable to wear and it looks really beautiful. And here is me wearing the dress after the refashion. Such a small refashion, but it makes such a big difference. So this is it for the tutorial. I told you, very easy and very simple. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like sewing and you want to learn more. Thank you for watching today's video. I will see you next time. Bye!